Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac. Our story opens on the stock exchange where some weird things are happening.
This can't be happening. I'm wiped out.
I made a fortune today. My only problem now is whether to buy amalgamated or consolidated.
Cortland, you're president of the exchange. What do you make of this?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before.
Panic grips the stock exchange and extensions of it all over the country. Commissioner Gordon is as baffled as anyone else, so it's nice to know some things never change. He sits down to watch the TV reports about this disaster.
Good afternoon, my friends.
Where did he come from?
Who is that?
A helpful minstrel I when I see folks in trouble.
Wasn't he one of the Archer's henchmen, and now he's gone solo, or something like that? Or maybe there's no connection between the two, our writers are just on a medieval kick.
Messages for members of the Gotham City Stock Exchange. Gentlemen, salvation is available. The Minstrel's Friendly Stockbrokers Protective Association will guarantee you immunity from a repetition of today's calamity.
How thoughtful.
Aunt Harriet may be the purest soul ever born. Obviously, he's taking credit for the calamity and playing a protection racket with the stock exchange. He says every one of you, all 250 of you, will send $1,000 a week to a Swiss account, and everybody must participate or no deal.
What are you going to do, Commissioner?
There's only one thing we can do. Commissioner Gordon.
Batman? Don't you usually call on the other... Oh, it's not Batman, it's the stock exchange guy, wasting Gordon's time by telling him everything he just saw for himself.
A minstrel who is also an electronic genius. What a strange combination.
Not at all, Commissioner.
Music and electronic energy are both transmitted by waves.
Which obey almost identical laws of nature.
So if you can play a lute, you're bound to know how to hack a stock exchange. They're basically the same thing.
A logical pursuit for a musician with a twisted criminal mind.
Of course, Batman, you're right. I wouldn't have thought of that.
That's because you haven't studied enough Batman logic. The head of the stock exchange comes in and explains how the quotations went bonkers during the afternoon and they had to shut everything down because orders were coming in at false prices. He explains that all the quotations go out over a single transmitter, which explains how the minstrel was able to hack into both that and the television signal.
Apparently, he simply overrode the signal from the studio to the transmitter with a stronger one. I don't know anything about this man, but I intend to know more about him before we're through.
We actually have a brand new villain. Up to this point, we've had exactly one Zelda the Great. And even there, they knew somebody was robbing banks every year, they just didn't know who. Here, we have someone that came out of nowhere and has Batman stumped. That took long enough. They head over to the stock exchange building so Batman can investigate the transmission room. You can smile, but you're looking at state-of-the-art computer technology a la 1966. You don't want to know what it cost. Everything looks okay here, but they want to take a look under the hood.
Holy transistors, Bill, what an installation!
You see anything suspicious, Batman?
Hey, look!
No, Robin. Everything seems to be perfectly in order. No signs of tampering.
I told you he wouldn't catch it, Octavia.
I guess we'll just have to keep looking. Right, Batman?
Yes, Robin. We'll just have to keep looking.
Yes, Robin, we will just have to keep looking. Look knowingly at Robin. Oops.
He does have a warm, attractive voice, doesn't he?
So what? He's still a second-rate genius. You're just like all the women, Octavia. Taken in by his phony mystique and his warm, attractive voice.
Don't complain. I'm pretty taken in by your warm, attractive voice, too, you know.
Oh, well, that's better.
Would it be possible for the minstrel's girlfriend to be named anything but Octavia? And at least in this instance, Batman's weird power over women is common knowledge. Batman plans a trap.
That depends on how he proceeds. If he thinks no one is wise to him, he may be back.
And we'll be waiting for him. Just tell me how many men you'll need, Batman.
None. the slightest suspicion that it's a trap could scare him off.
Sure, and it could at that. Oh, that's thinking ahead, that is.
And the chief of police isn't capable of thinking ahead like that, because then we wouldn't need Batman.
As always, Batman, we'll play it however you wish, but we can't help being concerned about you.
Commissioner Gordon, after Penguin,
And Archer.
Clock King,
And King Tut and Catwoman.
and all our other artful adversaries, I don't think we'll have too much of a problem with this minstrel.
Set up for ironic downfall due to overconfidence, complete.
We'll dine in a moment, Alfred. First, I'd like to get the kinks out of this bug.
Kinks out of the bug, sir?
It's a bugging device with which we hope to trap our latest adversary, Alfred.
In the early episodes of the first season, they had a whole drawer full of these things, and they looked like actual bugs. What happened to those? Did Alfred mistake them for real bugs and spray them with Raid?
Oh. Would that be the Minstrels, huh?
Yes, it is indeed, Alfred. You've heard of him, then?
All Gotham City's heard of him, sir. He seems to have most of the women swooning over his so-called gentlemanly charm, and most of the men in a state of panic, including, if I may be allowed the personal reference, myself.
Alfred has managed to build up a little nest egg of his own and has it invested in the stock market. He's not wiped out, but he's as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Batman lays out his plan.
I suspect he planted a microphone in the transmissions room of the stock exchange building. And tonight, he'll be back to check on it. So we fight fire with fire. We plant a microphone, and we check on it.
And if he's been naughty, we're telling.
There's one thing that worries me, Batman. Getting back into that building without being noticed.
I'm sure that can be handled.
Foreshadowing. Still looks like a spoiler to me, but let's see how this plays out. He calls Gordon and asks him to arrange for the two of them to get back into that corridor.
And perhaps find us an isolated office for a short time.
You mean a temporary hideout?
I can't go into details, Commissioner. I'm sure you understand.
This line may be bugged because the minstrel is obviously a lot smarter than I am.
I'll contact Mr. Cortland at once, Batman. But let me repeat now, please be careful. Who knows what devious tricks this evil balladeer may be up to?
You have my assurance.
I love the subtle way they're beating us over the head with it.
A wandering minstrel. That's the same tune he sang on TV.
Right, Robin.
Do you think it could be some kind of signal?
Yes, it could, old chum. Let's take a look. Easy now.
They sneak out into the hall and confront the woman.
Oh! Do you always sneak up on people like that?
It's not the minstrel. It's our How Did They Do That cameo for the week.
No.
That's okay. You're here kind of early, aren't you?
So, you were expecting us.
Are you kidding? They told me to expect a new replacement. I just didn't know there'd be two of you. Anyhow, you got here. Glad you wore your old clothes. This job is a mess.
Phyllis Diller, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only. The funny thing is, I never really liked her, but the way she stomped off there makes me want to imitate her.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Holy rainbow! I'm blinded!
Bright light, a bat's only weakness.
Good night, Batman. Good night, Robin. Good night, Batman. I'm going to leave you now.
Well, that was embarrassing. The police arrive and Batman takes another look at the circuits.
Apparently, we interrupted him before he could remove the last of these.
You mean that tiny thing caused all the trouble?
Yes, and there was one for each number's circuit, of course.
What is it?
A heterodyne counter oscillator would be my guess, and a marvel of miniaturization.
Microchips, or integrated circuits as they were called at the time, were only just starting to appear, and the ones that were around were pretty clunky. The method that's the basis for all of our microchips today wouldn't even be developed for another 2 years. It's pretty cool that the show foresaw the rise of real miniaturization.
To confuse the frequency so that each number has to come out anything but right.
Commissioner, all Gotham City is in danger while this musical criminal is at large. He exhibits a degree of electronic sophistication far beyond anyone in the world today.
He exhibits a degree of electronic sophistication far beyond that of anyone else in this world today. Except me, of course.
Since they were listening to each other's bugs, the Minstrel and Batman decided to meet for coffee and formed a mutual admiration society that continues to this day.
If, as I suspect, he spotted the counter oscillators by now, he knows the place was bugged.
Smarter than you thought he was,
You're absolutely right, my dear. He must be eliminated after all. We can count on him to come to us.
The gang wants to know how.
He's waiting for me to go on the air again, Base, so we can use our signal to lead him to us. So we'll work from the studio, not here. See that it's ready, Treble.
But how can he use our signal? Unless he's a bird. The beam is so narrow, he can't even pick it up on the ground.
He'll work it out some way, you can bet on that.
Presumably, Batman knows that the Minstrel will know what he's doing, will be prepared for the Minstrel to be prepared, so he's more prepared. I think I got that right. Let's head to the Batcave and find out.
Yes, if the Minstrel goes on the air again, and I suspect he will, if only to taunt me.
Once again, it's possible I give Batman too much credit.
I think this bird should pick up his wavelength.
And locate his broadcasting studio.
There we are.
Time to test the drone. If they only just built the drone, when did they build that giganimous control console? Or did the whole thing come as a kit?
Come in. Oh boy, my drone kit's here. The drone. And the console!
It's a call from Captain Kirk.
That could be the studio signal.
Raise the level.
Make it more annoying, that'll help.
That's it. Perfect. The Minstrel may be in for a surprise.
Spoiler! While the Minstrel taunts Batman on the air, Robin is tracking his signal with the drone.
It's descending, Batman.
At what angle?
11 degrees, 4 minutes.
11 degrees, 4 minutes.
Bonus points if you know what that thing is that Batman's using. When I was in 8th grade, I took an after-school class on how to use one. First one to identify it in the comments gets a shout out in the next video.
Well, I should put the plane down somewhere over Gotham Park Lake, at the intersection of Willow and 4th Streets.
There's nothing there, Batman, except the old Willow Street warehouse.
An abandoned warehouse. What are the odds of a criminal setting something up in a place like that? They hop in the Batmobile and tell Alfred to bring the drone back.
Me, sir?
Yes, throw the Bat drone retriever switch.
They bat climb to an open window in the warehouse. Batman warns that it may be a trap, so of course they step into it face first.
It is a trap.
Robin's been working on his detective skills.
Oh, wham! Look at the dynamic duo.
They are efficient, aren't they?
Do you think they'll win, Minstrel?
Sorry, they're not allowed to win until the last few minutes of part 2.
Holy fly trap!
Told you. I really hope those are dummies. If they're real people, they'd better have gotten paid very well.
In just a few minutes, gentlemen, we'll be prepared to serve barbecued Crusader, if we have a call for it. You see, we've installed, just beneath you, super units of a radar-type grill. As you revolve, it can turn you from rare to medium to well done.
So, a microwave. The idea of cooking stuff with radio waves had been around since the 1940s, and a few actual microwave ovens had been built and sold. and they were just about this big and complicated. The home units that we know today wouldn't appear for a few more years, but one of those wouldn't be able to do this anyway.
Batman and Robin rotate and revolve. As the heat grows, your bodies dissolve. When it's still hotter, then you will melt. Nothing left but your utility belt.
How will the dynamic duo get out of this one?
Check the thermometer on your radar grill. Be here tomorrow. Same hot time, same hot channel.
Okay, that was unnecessary. The Minstrel is an interesting villain. The musician almost looks more like a persona than who he really is, but it's hard to tell. In any event, his strength is thinking 2 and 3 moves ahead of Batman. If Batman manages to escape this, he's going to have to change his game plan quick. I like how Alfred had a much bigger role in this episode. He's been a little underused so far, and it's nice to see his character developing a little. Throughout the entire Batman saga, Alfred has always been his good right hand, a huge part of his ability to function as Batman. He's a complex character with lots of motivations, and we haven't really explored that yet. I hope we see more. And Harriet is another matter. It seems best for her to be a minor character like she was in this one, because if we develop her too much, it's inevitable that she's going to lose that adorable innocence that makes her who she is. Then again, in the last story, we learned that she apparently goes clubbing, so who knows where we'll go with that. Right now, Batman and Robin have more pressing things on their minds, so be sure to tune in next time to see what happens. I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.